Get him up, get him up. Get him up, get him up. Funny how you choose and pick your battles, dude. Keep saying you number one, but I'm on top, yo, it's done. Dropping styles like napalm, fake rappers think they so strong. Verses full of hype and always ready for a fight. Spontaneous, magnanimous, cause they can't get close enough to run with us. If you want a battle, get it hard, get it raw. No emotions, I shake you until your chains fall off. What? Large, in charge, I set the bar high. You running with the big boys now. Get up, don't cry.
Omaha! Base! Union! Blue 20! 50's right. Blue! Clear! Omaha! 20! Then down! 50's right!
Alright, welcome back to the 2019 coverage of the 2019 Gridiron Queensland SUNBOWLs Game 2. Not far away, but quick thank you to one of our sponsors for the day, Impact Sports. You can contact them at sales@impactsportsaus.com for all your shot equipment needs. Order before December 14th for a discount. Now, we've got the Colts division upcoming, almost ready for the Australian National Anthem. We've got the Brisbane Rhinos taking on the Gold Coast Stingrays. The Rhinos, second seed, Stingrays, like their juniors, perfect 10-0 during the regular season. As we just wait for the two teams to line up either side of the referees for our national anthem. As these two teams come to formation, the 2019 Colts SUNBOWL. I'm Connie Andres. I'll be taking you through one play-by-play throughout the day, and joining me for at least half of this game, once again, welcome him back to the booth, one game deep, John Hollywood Rowe.
G'day everyone, and thanks for tuning in, and let's have a cracker of a SUNBOWL.
Well, let's start off with the Australian national anthem. If I could ask everyone to rise for our Australian national anthem. Thank you very much. Second time today. I can't wait for this. The second more, two more of them to come.
Big day for you, Kenny. Big day for you.
One of my favourite jobs, being both the stream commentator and the ground commentator, serving both jobs. So if I give instructions that may sound a little silly to you folks watching at home, please bear with us. Quick look at our officiating team today on screen now. Richard Prater heading the charge here. We're seeing some big names there. Joe Goslin, Chris Emery, David Jones, Dave Honkinson. At head linesman, Cameron McCormack. Tony Wiles is there. And should things go wrong, Andrew Stock is our alternate. Gary Kendall and Brian Bolzamo, they're in the booth assessing all the stuff that our on-field team may or may not miss.
You see Gary's legs get a rest, but his brain still keeps checking there for the instant replay.
Quick look back at a fortnight ago, the Stingrays 18-0 over the Ravens. That was only 3 quarters of football due to the Thunder. 6-0 Rhinos defeating the Thunder in a close game. Now the captains are going out for the coin toss. Very much like their junior program, an honorary captain stepping out there for the Stingrays. Number 45, Braden Conchud. Dietrich, forgive my pronunciation there. I haven't got him on the team list. Conratio, I should say. Unfortunately, injured in the closing weeks of the season. Stepping out there with his teammates to close out the season here at the SUNBOWL.
Good decision. Good show of sportsmanship by the coaches to let him out.
We'll head down to the field for the coin toss.
Stingrays, with their option, will receive the ball.
Lost a bit of the audio there, so didn't quite see if there was a defer. If not, we might have seen the first decision not to defer.
Finally.
For the first time in this postseason.
I think deferring at this level or at any state level is just the dumbest thing in the world. The reason that the professional teams defer is they have so much data and so much information that it's more about the end of the 2-minute warning in the second quarter and the start of the third, whereas if you're deferring now, it doesn't really matter. That's my thought anyway.
Well, a lot of times we do what we see, and we see on the screens people deferring. And I think there's always that little bit of peace of mind knowing that you will be getting the ball in the second half, but you kind of forget that you give up that first half
Well,
position.
that's exactly right. Like, anyone who knows me knows that for me, the wind is the ultimate decision of whether I kick off or receive, because who cares whether you get the ball in the second half? The game could be over by the second half if you haven't made the right decision when you decide to kick.
The other thing people consider is, what sends the tone better for their team, defense or offense. That's the other thing to consider.
Yeah, absolutely, Ken. I think for me, it's number one is the win for me, and number two, just getting a general sense of how a team feels. When you have the coin toss, and you might make that decision at the last second.
Before we talk about the present, let's take a quick look back. The last 1, 2, 3 SUNBOWLs have been the same opponents. The Gold Coast Stingrays defending their title against the Bayside Ravens. It hasn't been since 2015 since we saw another opponent. That was the Spartans once they had a Colts team. The Rhinos, they returned to the Colts SUNBOWL for the first time since 2013.
Wow.
Where they lost to the Bayside Ravens.
So just recapping, it's been the Stingrays and Ravens for the last 4 SUNBOWLs, you say?
2, 3 SUNBOWLs. But the Stingrays have for the last 4 titles, and they are going for the elusive 5th title. Had an opportunity for this in 2009, but again, unfortunately, due to other issues, did not make the final. The Eastside Ravens ended up being part of that, ended up taking out that title. Fun fact, both of those Ravens teams, yours truly was a part of.
Dressing as sharply as always. If you want to check out what Kenny's dressing today, just jump on the social media. It's very stylish.
Just hashtag
used car salesman. No, looking very stylish as you always do every SUNBOWL, and a great job by the live stream Brisbane team here. Multiple cams. We saw something earlier and previously in the game, history creating. We had a multi-cam play, which is fantastic.
I gotta say, thought it was a bit of a joke to start off with. I'm on board now.
Great.
I loved it.
Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Spread formation, 2 receivers either side.
Now look at this from the Rhinos. No D linemen, no players on the line. Everyone's back in coverage. They now rush 1, and the Stingrays will capitalise by going underneath early. What's going here? This is a Rhinos defense I haven't seen, keeping an eye out them during the regular season.
Interesting to start there, Kenny. Look, it's
this is a prevent defense.
It's cover 19, I think they call it technically. Look at that, Kenny. They look like they're lining up already at the back. I've seen that done before. It's rare that you see it, but you almost see more. You can see here, no D line again.
I mean, if you're the Stingrays, run the ball, right? they'll continue to pass. Starting at quarterback, Gorka Wachapari, he will run. He will pick up a first down. He will get more. He'll pick up close to 14 yards on that play. The Rhinos experiment, I guess you'd call it right now. Right now, not quite probably cooking up what they thought it would.
You're not feeling what they're cooking. So look, it's one of those things where they're either just trying around. Does the Stingrays have a scripted playbook for the first 15 plays or whatever? So these guys have done this, or is it something they're genuinely going to do? Are they going to start moving around? It's interesting. It's a bold strategy, Carton. It pays off.
Sam Harkness orchestrating.
There you go, just give it.
This, and they will give it. It is underneath. I think that is Bailey getting it, and Bailey will take this inside of the 30. 3 plays, and the Stingrays already find themselves about 6-7 yards away from the red zone.
What I really like about that, Kenny, is the way the defense for the Rhinos is now, is they will jump at the first thing they see, which is that run. So if Tapari wants to keep it, he's going to be open on that backside if he wants to bootleg it after that.
I've got to say, I love being coaches in the postseason, but you're going to hope that this has some sort of backup plan if the Stingrays continue to execute the way they currently are on this defense. Again, no one within 5 yards. The Stingrays hand the ball off to Bailey.
I'm actually getting a sense, Kenny, I'm seeing what they're trying to do. A great example in number 2, Anthony Hearn there, just came straight downhill. So it's almost like, forget the D-line, they're playing like 5 linebackers, which is still okay. Remember, I remember back at the Sun Devils, I was trying to tell Coach Vinny Tupy that, a 2-yard gain is still a loss. By the time you add times that by 4, it's only 8 yards. So I think, what they're trying to... Here we go, we've got something closer now for the Rhinos.
Yeah, they've stepped up now within probably close to 3 or 4 yards. Bailey again gets the carry, and for the first time we see evidence of this defense possibly working.
They lose the football?
Rhinos
Did they lose the football?
Might have taken the football away.
There it is.
They have. All right, they're geniuses.
Clinical genius.
I'm not sure if that was the plan of having so many defenders deep. But regardless, someone comes in punching that ball away. I think it was, number 18, which is my team sheet, which leads me to believe it could be Derek Uger.
Oh, it's out. It's out on that tackle.
No surprises who is making that play. That is Derek Uger. He's been making plays like that since he came into the league.
Is that right?
Playing as a Colt in the senior level for the Western Cougars.
Wow.
He continues to make plays now at the money back.
Oh, here we go, Kenny. It's Air Force wing tee.
It is a knee, and this is the Rhinos sticking by their beliefs. No surprises who is on the field right there. I see Moko, I see Hearn, I saw a couple of players, all of which who contribute heavily to their men's senior program. And what that means, ladies and gentlemen, by all means, the Rhinos, as far as Colts, they've solved the formalities they need to participate in the men's SUNBOWL.
Oh, is that what you... I gotcha, Kenny. Now I understand. Okay. Because I was wondering why they do that. It's like, gotcha.
Now, I won't completely avoid the elephant in the room. We'll explain a little more later. But in the meantime, we've got more important things, like Mitch Bradford taking this forward. They had a loss on first down. Now Bradford tries to make up some of that with his legs. That gets it back to the 20, but they've still got 3rd and long.
So can you just explain to me, with that knee, does that mean those players that went off, will they come back on again, or are they done for the day?
If history is anything to go by, and I have consulted them based on their history here, if they've taken the knee there, chances are they're probably not going to be doing a whole lot for the rest of the game.
Okay, so they'll stay suited up to be on the sideline and just watch the game.
By all intents and purposes, they could step up and start warming up a scene.
I'm a big fan of using the rules to their full advantage. 3rd down and about 13 yards.
They've fulfilled their obligations. Bradford looking deep, looking for a man who was open and had space in front of him. That was O'Reilly Dix, the two former quarterbacks of this program. Dick's last year's starter, Bradford the backup this year. They swap roles.
I like that route there, Kenny. They too. Calder Shanks was down the left side on the numbers. They could have thrown a fade to him, but I thought that was a great choice by the young quarterback there, is basically leading on a post almost, then it becomes a corner to the opposite side of the field, which is a great pass, Brad.
Now, before this next play takes place, I'm going to explain this once at the top for all the people who have been tuning in, and then I'm going to leave it there. Calder Shanks, everyone who might have been tuning in, he is eligible to play in the Colts Sun Bowl, not allowed for the men's. That was the ruling handed by Gridiron at Queensland. That is why he's participating in the Colts Sun Bowl. The Rhinos appealed, and the appeal fell flat.
There's a
He's now
block.
punting, and it gets blocked by the Stingrays.
Touchdown.
And the Stingrays get on the board first on special teams. That is Wilson Spisic blocking that punt and recovering it in the red zone, end zone for 6.
Love the use of wee fence here, not special teams, wee fence. Look at this, Kenny. I think this is a butt block or a thigh block. Yes, it was a rib block right there.
That is a brave block, if you ask me.
Got it, touchdown. Look at that. This is going to be a great camera angle here. So it's coming your side, straight through, almost untouched. Nobody even bothered to block him. Got him in the ribs and in the end zone. Great stuff.
So how about that? Stingrays are getting on board via their special teams.
Kenny, wait. It's an extra point.
Yes, the Stingrays are one of the few teams in recent history that have been able to successfully add PATs at Jaden Paludan to add the extra point.
Good snap,
Kick is
good
up,
hold,
kick
good kick.
is good. And we've now got 7 points on the board in favour of the Gold Coast Stingrays. That shouldn't come in any surprises. Paludan, kicker at state level, also kicked at men's level, and obviously kicked at a Colts level.
I think Pat McAfee would be proud, but that was almost very, very Johnny Wilkinson-like with all
You'd be
the
talking
setup.
about the holder and the snapper, though. Honestly, listening to Pat McAfee talk about the intricacies of long snapping and holding, it's amazing.
Well, Kenny, this has been an absolutely fascinating first couple of minutes, hasn't it? We've had a fumble recovery by the Rhinos. We had the taken knee so the players could get the rep. Then we had the defence of everyone lining up at linebackers and defensive backs. And we have a block punt. I mean, this is going to be a rip snorter.
A Rip Snorter coach.
Yeah, Rip Snorter 74 is a great album. Nice little grubber kick along the lines.
It will be
Straight down the middle.
returnable here for the Rhinos. I think that might be Dick's. Nope, it's Hearn bringing it back. Last year's junior MVP, SUNBOWL MVP, I should say, brings it past the 40.
Kenny got a chance to go down to the field between this game and the last game. Basically, that ground is so lush. It's a beautiful green, lush field. Credit to the creator, Bob's your uncle. But the wind, we were talking about the wind. So we've got the palm trees blowing in the background. You can see a couple of the tents down. It is getting windy down that way. And so basically on the screen, the wind is blowing from left to right. So it favours the Rhinos at the moment.
Bradford back. They're down by 7 early in this game. 4 minutes 32 remaining in the first. They'll use play action here. That's a nice catch by their man Calder Shanks.
Wow, I thought number 9 there was John Boswell. I thought he was going to pick that off almost because he was in the throwing lane. But Shanks with a great read, but also good coverage for the defensive backs. This will be a good angle here. Just a nice little simple slant route. Down, out and in. You can see number 9 almost had it.
Coverage on the play there. Kai Keynes. He's a talented young player, and this Colts program will certainly benefit by having him on the field full-time here today.
A little bit of confusion at the bottom of the field there. Who's on, who's off?
Trips out to the right. They go for it. Oh, it's a keeper. Late keep from Bradford. Beautiful work there by Mitch Bradford, and he will run this inside of the 30. They're still going. Now it's been stripped. Now it's Boswell coming the other way. No, the referees say that the play ended, I think. Well, a whole lot of awkwardity on the field.
What a game we've got so far.
And, well, they're still saying...
Yeah, I'd say right, yeah, Kenny, I'd agree with that. That play was over.
Stingray's going to argue that he was still moving forward, but the officials quite stern, although they are having a chat about it now.
Look, it's over. It's over right there. But it's the only reason he's moving forward is because the Stingrays are pulling him back towards their own goal line. And you can see, if you actually look at the referees right now, see they're blowing in a gale right there.
The result of the play is a fumble recovered by the Stingrays in the immediate action. First down, Stingrays.
So can you explain to me that one? The rule on the play was a fumble. But if they've blown it dead, why? So it's a fumble, let it go. This play should have been going way downfield, so they've either blown it there.
It should have been Boswell allowed to pursue, and I think this is one of those situations where something awkward happens and the reaction is to blow a whistle.
Yeah, look, I think, and that's the case, is I personally have no, if they say, hey, inadvertent whistle, we understand, no problems. But just to come out and say the rule on the field is a fumble, but then you stopped the progress of the play, why?
We're not inside the 2 minutes or anything like that.
Stingrays, first and 10, here we go.
The Rhinos persist with their very liberal defense, and the Stingrays continue to run on it. That is Bailey again. That was hits going through the whistle.
We're getting chippy. We're getting chippy, Kenny.
It's not going to take long.
You know, I think, Kenny, for the people at home might be watching going, oh, why are they so far back? Don't think north-south, think east-west. So the way the Rhinos are flowing to the ball, they're moving really well left and right. Don't think, oh, they're 5 yards back, they can't come downhill. Maybe their job is not to come downhill, it's to come downhill at a 45-degree angle or to go left and right to shed those blocks.
Well, it is taking quarters or maybe perhaps the cover two, logic to its extremes right here. Talk about bending, not breaking. And this will be a keeper. This is a design keeper to Kawacha Pari. And he runs it out of bounds at the 41. Now, what does this mean? What does this mean about the Rhinos and what they think about what these Stingrays can offer? Are they keeping that many back because they consider the pass a threat, or they do not want to get burnt in the quarterback scrambling game?
That's a great question, Kenny. I mean, we'll have to ask Coach Booker about that at the end of the game. Basically, it could be all of the above. It's a case of whether they've seen that or they want to try something. I mean, I tried a couple of things with the Sun Devils, is to have the defensive lineman 2 yards off the ball, so there was an A, no false starts, and B, the angles were better to attack. Maybe that's what we're seeing here.
Well, they'll try to pass.
Oh, there we go.
And they've gotten past the coverage. Catching that ball there. Aiden Dobosh had a long touchdown 2 weeks ago. This time gets the Stingrays to the 6.
Nice job by Dobosh there. It's basically, we see on the replay here. Nice little, there he goes, straight down the seam, untouched. You can't let a receiver go untouched down the seam like that unless you're deeper than he is. Nice job of trying to read the blocks and come back in. But look at that. I mean, what does that show you? It shows you that he's got all day to pass. Gore is going to have all day to pass. So they've only got 4 back. It's almost like quarters coverage, yes, but if you send 4 deep against quarters, somebody's going to be open. And nobody's pass rushing.
Well, they're sending 5 deep, in fact. So, and now he'll try to find a seam in the middle. He's still pushing forward. 1 signal, 2 signals. We have a touchdown. Stingrays, the first one for this offense.
The question, I think, Kenny, is we're asking the wrong question. It's almost a case of we need to go to Coach Colt from the Stingrays and say, Coach, did you expect to see this defense? That takes it to 13 for the Rays with 149 in the first.
Paludan in for his second PAT. It is up, it's pretty, and it's good.
Nice. Really nice job of the holder. They're getting the laces forward, Dan. Very nice work. And just also to remember, for the people who are tuning in maybe for the first time, we did mention that Gridiron Australia will be announcing the under-19 selection camp players today at some point. I would imagine it might be in the next hour, so keep your Facebook refreshed to the Gridiron Australia page. Hopefully we'll have a few of the players we see from Queensland on that roster and right across the country. Stingrays kicking into the wind. Seeing Coach Lance Tongakilo down there with a new bling around his neck.
And this one goes out of bounds. Let's see if the Rhinos opt to take the re-kick, but that's not bad field position. I mean, keep in mind they've got Caldershanks now in the backfield, so they very well could opt to get a re-kick here.
Procedure on the kicking team. Free kick went out of bounds untouched. 5-yard penalty and re-kick.
I was reminded, Kenny, the other day on the old Facebook memories of when the microphone crapped out for the referees. We just made up words, and it was quite humorous.
You were outstanding that night. It might have been Wildcats TV. That was wonderful. Low key, part of me hope it happens once again.
And Kenny, you were mentioning on the previous broadcast, you reckon we might see the Wildcats back again?
Look, you certainly hope so. But the reality is a lot of those people who kept the Wildcats strong, they were part of the Thunder, and from my understanding, a lot of those people are hanging up the boots. So, I mean, that means...
it's that cycle of, time to time.
But that also means that they've got time off the field now for all the administrational work that comes there. But here comes Shanks with an opportunity to return the men's special teams player of the year. Breaks one tackle, he's got his shoulder pad exposed, he's got the open side of the field, he gets past the 40, inside the 30 now, cuts it back inside, still fighting for yards, and he takes it inside the red zone. The Rhinos with a great opportunity now on the back of Caldershanks' return.
Love watching a good special teams return. You'll see it here. Sets it up. Look, he's got one man. Look, he's cornered in there. Got the jersey. You can't use one arm to tackle this guy. And you got the flip flap of the pole, the shoulder pads there. I reckon he'd run quicker if he just took it 6 inches off his hair. He'd be faster than that.
I think you'd have a hard time trying to convince me of that. But look, obvious reasons that man is running hard today.
Yeah, absolutely.
Trips out to the left.
So we had a block punt before, Kenny, on their opening series. Let's see, they're only 20 yards out. Let's see what they can do.
Got a great opportunity here, inside of the red zone. They use play action. Bradshaw under pressure, but evades it. Now he's got plenty of room down the short side of the field.
Hurdle.
Boswell has him. He stripped him last time. This time Bradford uses a stiff arm to keep him at bay and gets it to the 7.
I thought I was going to see a hurdle then, Kenny.
It would have been.
But no, other way. He went the big stiff arm and it didn't work.
Well, that would have been a mighty jump. That means
I'd back him.
Mackie, probably I haven't seen anyone other than Mackie Ferries pull off the hurdle as good as they
Two
did.
interesting things right on that close-up there, Kenny, is number one, what a good job from Bradford to get that snap. He was fumbling it. And number two, that looked like a clear quarterback keep because that running back had no intention of doing the basket. He just simply went straight for the block. So that looked like a designed QB run.
Starting at running back today is Patrick Moore, who has been a wide receiver all season. They are that low on depth at running back right now, the Rhinos. Okay. Patrick Moore is filling in a last minute at running back. Shanks in motion. Jet sweep to Shanks. Shanks stops, starts, and will get tackled.
Flags everywhere, Kenny.
Flags are down at the 6. Yeah, I was talking to Coach Sam Harkness during the week, and he explained that they are down to their reserves at running back.
Is that right?
They were hoping Regan Holiday, the starting running back or offensive back, if you want to call it, for the juniors would be available for them. Unfortunately, even if the juniors made it, and we'll go down to this.
Illegal formation. 5 players in the backfield. Penalties declined. Second down.
Stingrays take the loss instead of the penalty in that last play. Mm-hmm. Even if the Rhinos juniors were in the SUNBOWL, his parents had booked a holiday from Thursday,
right.
So he's not available either. So even their JV, if you want to call it that, ranks are unavailable to them. So Patrick Moore needing to step into a new role here in the SUNBOWL. He pass protects. Bradford, flick of the wrist, gets it back to the 6, but flags are down at the 16.
Gee, I like that rolling style throw. Great spiral on the run, led the receiver. This will be a cracker of a camera angle, coming straight down in vision at home. Rolls out to the right. He's got the protection. 5 turns out. Great throw. Great catch. Nice mechanics there.
for another call. Flags. Rolling it through.
And Kenny, I do want to give a shout out. You and I are both commentating and on the social media profile. Thank you to everyone that's watching from around the world and sending us messages from Canada and USA and even down the road at Logan and Gold Coast. No, thanks.
Truly, everyone is tuning in. We obviously know that a lot of people will go to the middle of the field.
No, we'll try and answer your messages when we can. Commentating the game is the priority.
Call coming through us.
It's good to see Coach Lance Tonkillo down there in a fresh change of clothes as well, because he got doused with the ice bucket.
Is it bad juju to... Oh, hang on.
Legal use of the hands by the defence. Penalties declined. Take the result of the play. Third down.
Rhinos was turned the favour, if you will, by declining the penalty and taking the result of that play. But
Good move, good coaching call.
but yeah, is it bad juju to bring a spare change of clothes?
No.
In case you
No.
get the Gatorade shower?
Not at all. Not at all.
All right, we're back. 3rd and goal from the 7.
A lot of space at the top of the field there, Kenny.
Stingrays show blitz, send 3. Bradford evades the pressure, rolls to his left. He's got a man open to the back of the end zone, but he can't get the arm up. Has to run it, advances it a couple of yards. We'll have a 4th down decision here.
I'm trying to see who that was. Was that Anthony Hearn, number 2? Or is that a 5 or an 8? 9. Anyway, there was a receiver in the back of the end zone there. He was pointing to the direction going, I'm going to run this way, throw it there.
Yeah, the only problem is they would have been throwing... That's a lot of body movement to try and get that ball back. And when you got pressure down your throat...
Mahomes make it look easy.
Oh, yeah. He's only a 1st-round draft pick. And an MVP of the NFL. 4th down and goal from the 4.
Too many numbers to the left, Kenny. They got to go right.
Well, they'll have to wait a little longer to pull the trigger.
I think that's a good thing for the people watching at home. If you're getting into Gridiron, etc., just have a look at the... Almost if you divide the field in half, or the formation, it's quarter time.
Oh, but, sorry, I'll interrupt your analogy there for a second.
That's all right.
That's because it's the end of the first quarter of play. After 1, the score is 14-0 in favour of the reigning champs, the Gold Coast Stingrays. As we take a walk to the other side of the field, you were saying dividing the field, Coach.
Yeah, just basically have a look at the numbers, and basically from the centre to the right sideline, count the number of defenders. From the centre to the left sideline, count the number of defenders, and then compare that to the offensive players. How many do they have on that side? How many do they have on that side? Great example there is the Rhinos, I think, had 1 running back and 2 offensive linemen to the left. Stingrays had 4 defenders. So there's no way in the world you'd go to that side. The opportunity was more over on the right. So that's one of those things to look at. Look at the matchups. Who's head up? Who's off to the side? How many do they have on this side of the field? How many do they have on that side of the field? And that'll give you a good indication of, is the play called and cannot be changed, or is there going to be an audible of some sort?
So, neither of these teams super keen to get things going. Both of them took a meander down to the other side of the field.
It's quite warm out there. It's a beautiful Queensland Sunshine Coast 12:30 day. Remember, no daylight savings here for people watching down in the fuel saving states. Are your curtains faded, Kenny?
Am I what, sorry?
Curtains.
As in curtains.
Yeah, that's one of the big reasons one of the biggest issues we have in Queensland compared to the rest of the world is our curtains fade with daylight savings.
Oh, that makes sense. More of a shades guy. Blinds in.
I've got the foil up at my windows. Nobody's watching.
No one wants to see that.
14 zip.
So touchdowns in the first quarter there. Punt block recovered by Spisic, and then an 7 yard.
Can you see what I mean? It's 1-on-1 on the right side of the field, basically.
Let's see if they go there. That's more in the backfield. Bradford under pressure, has nowhere to go. Bailey shuts him down. And that is a turnover on downs, and on top of that, the defense, sacking him as deep as they did, got their offense a little out of trouble.
I'm just 3 against 2, Kenny, on the backside there. That's exactly why the Stingrays won that battle.
Bit of a studded start here for the Rhinos. Can't capitalise on that long return by Calder Shanks, which set them up inside the red zone, sending their defence out again. They continue on with this game plan defence here for the Gold Coast Stingrays. No one able to top them here in 2019 so far, until Riley Dix had a pick with plenty of blockers in front of him.
And that's exactly why they set up that defence. Here we go. This is going to be a great camera angle. Look, it's going to go straight down his throat.
And the play wasn't blown in anyway, so it wouldn't have mattered.
Tried to use the face mask to catch it rather than the hands.
No, it was. Second down. I thought for a second that the play wasn't blown in. Second down.
Straight at him there. Great concept. Kenny, have a look at the far side. That receiver, that cornerback is playing 15 to 16 yards off that corner because he knows that is one of the longest throws that quarterback has to make.
Spread formation, even 2 by 2. And they'll hand this off again to Bailey. Bailey, who just got the 4th down sack, gets this past the 20. But again, the Rhinos are happy to hemorrhage these short and medium gains at the expense of anything big breaking out. A couple of these guys are usually D linemen or inside linebackers now out effectively playing safety positions, it looks like. 4 defenders back on the 33. They'll hand this off to Bailey again. He's got the first down. Lowers his shoulder and picks up a few more. Fresh set here for the Stingrays.
So what I'm seeing right there, Kenny, is a way to beat this defence now is don't run at them, run the angles, and either have some pulling linemen or basically try and have some sort of trap play or have a running back not run forward but run at a 45-degree angle, and you'll get a better angle block against the defence. Again, shout out to our people on social media. Yes, you did hear me say correct before. We did have, on the first play of the Rhinos, we had some players come out in a formation on offence, and the first play of offence for the Rhinos is they took a knee and then substituted some players. That's so they're eligible for...
Yep, they have now participated in their Colts game, which means they are eligible to play in the men's SUNBOWL.
Gotcha, so they only need to participate in one play, and if that play is a knee, then they've been on the field.
Well, I think technically, like if you're there and you sign the team sheet, I think that actually constitutes enough there, but it just means that
it's a play. It's technically a play.
Visual preference, visual evidence that they participated in. So we've got an injury at timeout, and Betty Fitzsimmons has been walked off the field. One linebacker of the year. It's one of the few linebackers, true linebackers on this Rhinos defense.
There's the defensive linebackers there are a little bit closer. This one, they're only about 3 yards off now.
Yeah, they started a strong 5 yards. You're right. It's moved closer to 3 now. On 1st and 10, they roll out left. Canon Tompkins is now in this rotating quarterback system the Stingrays run. They even got another Gold Coast Bulletin article written about this two-headed monster that is Gorka Wachapari and Canon Tompkins.
I would have loved to have read it too, Kenny, but I don't subscribe to it. So stop putting things I have to subscribe to and pay money, people. Otherwise, I'll go and buy a newspaper. No, and that's great when you can chop and change like that, Kenny. It's really good. I think the Stingrays are onto something here, Kenny. It's basically, you can run that the second receiver out route because the number one receiver is already 15 yards and bailing. So number one receiver will clear the space. Number two receiver just runs a 5 and out, and you've got space. Might be a classic example of it down here at the bottom of the screen.
2 wide receivers on the line. 3 of them go vertical. You've got Noah Hull work in the intermediate.
He's open
now you've got an open receiver. Caden Tompkins launches and has a bit too much pepper behind that throw. He was looking for Sammy Paludan, or Paludan, I should say. Incomplete.
Great job there by Sammy acknowledging that he did wrong. Basically, just after that play was over, just tapped himself on in the chest and said, "My bad," because Sammy should have just gone long. Don't worry about going to the sideline and making it out. Just go long, because it's going to be easier to come back to the ball.
Ken Tompkins, a proven bosser, as I've mentioned in previous broadcasts. Both of these quarterbacks were quarterback 1 and 2 for the most recent junior Queensland Sun Devils. Both of them couldn't beat each other out for the starting spot. Head coach Colt Isham said, well, I've no reason why you have to name a starter. If they can both produce, I'm going to play them both.
That's great modern day thinking. I like that. Good stuff.
We're on second down, but yes, Caden Tompkins, as far as his production in 2019, they've got a game missing from these stats, but 853 pass yards from 9 games, 14 passing touchdowns, 2 picks. He goes, that is Bailey again, almost broke out for a bigger gain. That is a big chunk of yardage there on second down. That earns them a new set, and they're moving along swimmingly.
Again, Kenny, what I saw right there was the angle blocking of the receivers as well. Not trying to take them front on, but basically let the defender go where they want to go and block them that way. That was a really nice job. Hey, good shout out to our previous head coaches down there, sitting down having a chat. Lance Tongakillo and Brendan Phillips, they're sitting together having a yarn. That's what you like to see after the game's over, especially at a grand final, is at the end of the day, still all coaches having a chat. Might learn something.
Ball's now at the 31 and a half. First and 10. 14-0.
There's your out and up. There's your wheel route. They're going to stay with it.
And Kanan will go back
There you go.
underneath. We'll take the check down. And catching that there was Hull. Hull breaks some tackles, picks up some blocks, and gets into the end zone. The Stingrays have found their third score of the day, and that's Kanan Tompkins' 16th touchdown pass this season.
You're not going to get it done with single arm tackling, Kenny. And exactly what I was talking about before, there was that 10 to 15 yard out route. That is going to be open there all day if Rhinos continue to play this defence. Great pass, great throw. Even I think I saw Gord Chapari there saying, I'm open as well, throw it to me. But yes, one arm tackling won't cut it in the Sun Bowl.
The PAT is successful. That's 3 for 3 for Jaden Paludan. 21-0. The score now reads 5 minutes and 30 seconds remaining in the second quarter. The Rhinos need to find a way to get a wiggle on here, or else this game will quickly leave them behind with the rate the Stingrays prove to be scoring.
Good job by Colt Isham there, the head coach. You can just see him just settling down the players, having a chat.
He's served his apprenticeships, was underneath Coach Nguyen for that, big 4-year run, and he's got football history in his own. He played community college in Alaska, then went to University of Minnesota, Duluth, before a knee injury derailed his playing career.
Came with us, the Sun Devils, under Coach Adam Bolton.
Yes, he did. And then also pursued to go under Coach Booker for the most recent junior AGL. So he's constantly trying to learn, and he's clearly producing the goods now that the reins have been turned to him. I know Coach Nguyen still keeps an eye on his old team. Colt not afraid to...
He can never stop. You can check out, but you can never leave.
No doubt he's probably watching right now. I'm expecting a text to come through anytime soon, to be honest.
Well, we talked about the win, Kenny. As you can see, we need a holder here.
Yeah, holding now is Thomas Roderick. And this is a lower kick. I think that's Mackin, who's the lone player stepping up from the junior program to play in the Colts, I should say. And it looks like they're primarily going to use him for his kicking duties for now. Don't be surprised to see him drop in at defensive end as the game progresses.
Yeah, I was having a quick chat with his mum downstairs before, and basically, she doesn't expect to see him till about 3 o'clock. Dropped him off there on the field at 8:30, and he's got the first game, and he's doing the second game. I don't think she even saw him at the halftime break.
She just says, don't get hurt.
Yeah. And the family will be up here. You come and see us when you need us.
Lo and behold, who messaged me? Coach Chris
Oh,
Nguyen.
that's lovely. What's he probably got a bubby under one arm and a vacuum cleaner under the other? G'day, coach. How you going?
Have a beer hidden somewhere amongst all that. Ball now at the 20 for the Rhinos to set up shop. They need to get a move on. Wind is in their face now. Trips right. Bradford had a clean pocket. That collapses on him. He has to roll out to the left and will just try to grab as many as he can. That has been the order of the day as far as offensive production for the Rhinos so far. Second, he actually gets quite a few yards there. He grabbed 8 after all that. We've got second and, or maybe even 9, second and 1.
We're laughing because Coach has just sent us a picture and we were spot on.
Bradford throws the ball under pressure. Riley Dix can't reel that in. They'll have a third and short. They'll need 1 on third down.
Shout out to Coach Michael Kerr, the Australian under-19 team manager who's watching from Perth. Just Kenny was saying how much valuable information that we talk about.
Our highbrow conversation.
Correct. just the game of football as well.
Michael Kerr is always a good chat. Always gives me time whenever I need it during those AGL periods. Answer any phone calls I have. 1 yard away.
The flag late in the backfield.
The wind is literally blowing
Away
hats
game
off people now.
on the offense, number 9. 5-yard penalty, still third down.
Well, Kenny, I just wanted to quickly say while we've got this break here, is coming up is Gridiron Australia has officially announced the under-19 training squad for January. It is on the Gridiron Australia website, not the Facebook page, the website. So jump on there.
Here it is. A lot of keen teenagers
He's
are knowing.
coming back.
This is to Yuga. The wind denies him at the end.
Absolutely, Kenny. You're spot on there. Throwing into the wind. Great spiral, but just needed more on it.
Yuga did have a step there.
So, yeah, sorry, Kenny. Yes, Gridiron Australia has announced or made a post there for the under-19 players that will be attending the Outback Camp.
So you can find that at gridiron.org.au or just simply write Gridiron Australia into your Google browser. And in comes, oh, hang on, is that Tom Saxby on the field now to long snap? I think that's all his duties will be. Had a quad injury in the playoffs which limited his production and was pretty much questionable coming to this game. Calder shanks, it's a fake. He's racing Spicic to the edge, beats him, bumps off another, but can't get the first down yardage. When you got to play with that much speed, you got to roll the dice, especially when you're down 21-0. Does not come up trumps for him here, and the Stingrays will take over inside the 30.
21 zip to the Rays at the moment. 4:49 left in the second. A very different contrast game from the first one, isn't it, Kenny?
It certainly is. The points are coming, unfortunately, for the the objective observers in favour of one side. Here's a first. Coach Turner tuning in, reminding me that Coach Chris's last name should be pronounced Win. He is correct. I should know better. Kane and Tompkins all the time.
Oh,
in the
great
world.
move there.
Little shoulder shrug. Now he's got Jaden Paludan inside the 15.
Jaden with a nice deep V route there. So basically start off as a slant going inside, does the shimmy. There you go. You can see plants it right there and heads out. That's, again, Kenny, that's where they're going to be open all day against this Rhinos defence, is that 10 to 15 yard out route. Now, however you get there, whether it be a V out or a break out or a speed out, that's the space that's going to be open.
Jack Lowe making the tackle. Four wide. Caught Chapari in the backfield.
He is, isn't he?
He'll release
He's
late.
got space.
They'll eventually cover him. Now put Tompkins under
There's
pressure.
three people open.
And he looks for Hull, looking for touchdown number 2. Coverage on the play there by Darcel Atul-Mavave. Breaks up that play. Didn't.
A couple of people. Just look, there's 3 people open in the back corner there. Just got to get your body right to throw it.
Well, keeping it almost as a spy. And hang on, Gorka Chapari gets handed the ball.
That.
And does he lose it?
There's a marker down, as in...
The Stingrays come up with it, and Jaden Paludan. I haven't seen a signal yet, so I'm led to believe this is... And, well, here we go. The Stingray offense coming off the field. That is a turnover, apparently.
There you go.
And it is recovered there from Jack Lowe.
Kenny, I'm going to hit you up with a question, and this takes me back to the... Oh, look at that, I'm just looking at the other side of the field there. That wind is blowing a gale. I can see something, a chair or something going down the side there. With the Rhinos taking a knee there with those players and then sending them off the field, they were eligible to play this game as well, weren't they?
Yes, of course.
Why wouldn't they play? Would that not be weakening?
Result of the play is a fumble by the Stingrays, recovered by the Rhinos. First down, Rhinos.
Once again, just getting a clarification, that's a fumble. Well, I guess the ideation would be that you're keeping them rested for the men's.
So the men's is more important than this.
That's what that
This is
may or
just
may
you and
not
me
suggest.
talking here. This is just you and me.
I admit, that is where... As Patrick Moore takes a carry here. Former Raven
Oh,
gets this
what a
close to
shame.
the 8.
I thought he was not stopped there. Is it Mao or Moore?
Now, I was constantly pronouncing it as Mao, because as it's spelled, M-A-U,
Yeah.
that's what I thought it would be. He did correct me personally and said
Okay.
it's pronounced Moore.
Only because I used to play with a legendary player, Patrick Mao from New Zealand in the Astros days, and it was M-A-U, was Mao. Oh, he was M-A apostrophe U-U, I think it was.
There you go.
All right, so it's Patrick Moore. Second and about a long 7. Trips to the right.
Here they go on second down. Throwing out to the screen to Shanks. The pass above his head, though, incomplete. But in defense of some of the philosophies that the Rhinos have fulfilled through this year, speaking to some of their coaching staff, they did raise a good point, and they said, you can't tell me that the players who have been constantly playing up in men's this year would be as good if they consistently just played at Colts. And I said, well, you're right there. Bradford under pressure, what a move! Now we'll take on Hull, can't beat him. And wrestled over the sideline. Flags are down inside the end zone though. But just to finish that thought, the question is, ¿por qué no los dos? Why cannot you do both?
We can. We've got that flag in the end zone there, Kenny.
Holding, offense, right guard. Penalties declined. It's fourth down.
Naturally, penalty declined. I'll bring on the punt unit.
Well, I suppose, Kenny, we can say, because it has been announced, so basically looking at the Rhinos players here, obviously Calder Shanks, he did a great job at the Junior Nats, and also Patrick Moore, number 14, he's been invited to the Australian camp in January. Late flag.
Oh, that was thrown
with intent, malice intent from the referee.
That looks like a sideline penalty if I've ever seen one. I could be wrong.
Coach on the sideline for the Stingrays is very animated.
Yes, young Connor Brewster. Clearly not happy about something.
Legal snap on the offense. Half distance to the goal penalty. Still 4th down.
We used to see that, Kenny, a lot when the centre would either roll the ball or pick it up and put it back down again. What's he done? Absolutely, right there, spot on. So you can see if you're in the correct letter of the law, can't do that.
Well, now credit to Brewster or Isham, one of the coaches who spotted that and demanded a flag be thrown. Shanks
Great snap.
He gets one away. Again, finding a bit of space, but now Paludan picks it up on the hop, runs down the right-hand sideline. Kenny cut back, picks up one block, and eventually, taking down from behind, this return takes him to the 22.
I think that's a heads-up play there by Shanks. He's kicking into the wind, so he kept it low and end over end, and I think just tried to let that ball run as far as he could. Because it's obviously a little breezy down there, kicking into that wind.
And we've got an injury timeout here. One of the Rhinos players down. Finn Shortman down for the Rhinos.
So we've got this break here, Kenny. Also, big shout out for the Stingrays. Now, give me correct pronunciation there, Kenny. We're just, sorry for the break in silence, we're just listening to some information coming in our headsets, which we're going to relay to you shortly. It's 2 minutes 42 left in the half. Rays 21. Rhinos yet to get on the board as we just treat an injured player.
Yeah. Some information being requested of us, not on my 1,000 pieces of papers.
What, you don't have it? What?
Believe it or not.
What?
Yes, Finn Shortman will walk off under his own power.
Is that Finn Shortman coming off there?
In any case, just getting a shout out to the manager of the Rhinos men's team, just getting fed some information that they drive down from Gympie each week just to manage this Rhinos men's team.
Somebody loves football.
Probably.
It's a long drive. It's 145 kilometres or an hour and 47 minutes away.
Dead set. Gorko Chapari back at quarterback. This pass falls incomplete. And on first down, that pass falls incomplete. Bringing up 2nd and 10. 21-0. 2-minute warning not too far away. Sam Harkness, the head coach for this Colts program, been with the Rhinos a number of years now. I think his first year was 2012 underneath Phil Levis as an assistant. Eventually worked his way up. Gorko Chapari underneath.
Threaded the needle.
Ball
Beautiful
on a
job.
string. Gets it inside the 5.
Sam Paludan in there right there. I saw Gory do that basically at Junior Nationals to Jaden. He just threads that seam down the hash mark. It's over the linebackers and before the safety. It's a great route, great pass on the money.
Did that en route to winning offensive MVP for the Junior AGL.
Absolutely.
And the man catching it won an overall MVP. And young Sam hopes to earn similar accolades. And if he continues the way he is, I'm sure it won't be far away. They throw over the middle. Catching this one, I think, is Dobosh. Indeed it is. Had a huge reception in the first quarter. This time catches a quick slant, gets his name on the touchdown list.
Going up to 27, soon to be 28. 2 minutes going in just before half time. I think we've seen some good adjustments by the Stingrays here against that defensive backfield.
Oh, this one's off the upright. His perfect kicking record exists and no longer hit. Jaden Pellion, a blemish on his game so far.
We'll just have to watch out that touchdown photography didn't hurt herself there with kicking that ball back.
This rotation continues.
I reckon she's probably going to take about 1,000 images of today too.
That'll be a quiet day.
It's a lot of rolls of film back in the day, Kenny. Young people don't know how good they've got it from digital age now.
Gorka Wachapari heading into the playoffs at 16 passing touchdowns, added 3 over the postseason. Had 6 rushing, now has 7. Also has a receiving touchdown. Leading touchdown scorer for this Stingrays Colts program.
And I think it's good when a coach can recognise that somebody's just a benefit to the team and just not play them in a one single spot.
It's easy to pigeonhole, isn't it? Mackin.
Inside torpedo.
And Yuga was underneath it. Lets it roll into the end zone.
It'll be interesting with Mackin there is basically, I should say that Kane Mackin has made the under-19 Australian team. Be good with a kickoff there like that is just try and get a little bit more height on that. He's definitely got the distance. But we've just got to get a little bit more height. Give those guys a little bit of time to run down.
Now, especially as a special teams maven as you are, Coach, I mean, is touchback always the goal you want from your kickoff starter?
I think at the end of the day, I've thought about this quite a few times. At the end of the day, yes, you're reducing a run back past the 25, but you're not getting an opportunity of a fumble or anything like that. But yeah, I think at the end of the day, it's just boot it out the back of the end zone.
Bradford.
Picked off.
Almost picked off. Shanks grabs the tip. Here goes Calder Shanks, getting it to the 35. Excellent concentration on the play. Almost picking that off was Kai Keynes.
The thing that's really, I hate to bring a negative light there, Kenny, is from Kai Keynes, is Kai just stopped. After that, he had a chance to pick it. He didn't. The play is still going. Turn around, go make the tackle. Yeah, it's disappointing he didn't get the pick, but he just stands there. He's going completely the wrong direction. The play's still going. Go and make a tackle, especially in the SUNBOWL.
And 2-minute warning, I think we just had.
Good tip drill too, by the way.
Absolutely. 3 wide. Trips out to the right. Bradford rolls to the trip side.
Flag
Suspicious
down.
chasing him down. He launches this one into double coverage. He did have Shanks behind said coverage. Flags down though at the 26.
Well, Kenny, I want to say, look, have a great call this afternoon, mate. You get the women's game,
Of course you
the
are.
men's game.
Unfortunately departing us here at the half-time here of this
There are
Colts
2
game.
fouls on the play. Offside on the defence. Holding on the offense. Penalties declined. Replay the down.
Well, I'm looking at Lance Tongakilo down there or Brendan Phillips. They could probably come up to the commentary booth.
That's all right. Adam Bolton.
Adam Bolton,
Getting
the
the
Bolts.
coming in a bit earlier. Was there for the women's and seniors game. Now he's going to put in a half of Colts football.
Oh, fantastic. That's great. I love listening to you guys. Look, I'm going to head back home and do what I need to do and then sit down and watch the women's and men's and have a great call this afternoon, mate.
Well, Boswell blitzing there. Bradford does a good job to get this ball out to Shanks quickly. If Shanks looking to break a tackle, couldn't quite break off the play he wanted. Gets it just past the 40 though, and the Stingrays take a timeout.
This is good strategy by the Stingrays. They're taking the timeout with
Timeout.
47 seconds left.
Stingrays. That's their first for the half.
On offense, they can control the clock by throwing as we said, the out routes are there, etc., or controlling the tempo. So basically, the Stingrays right now are just trying to shut down this Rhinos offense. It's second down and about 5.
As a Rhinos though, conversely, you probably still welcome that timeout.
Yeah. Now the Rhinos I definitely want to try and get in before half time. At least have some points on the board. So they are going into the wind.
1 minute 39 on the official clock left.
Great facilities here at Dolphin Stadium because I'm just looking at there's really good vantage spots. And for those on the social media, you'll see what I'm talking about when I post it up. Basically, that's sort of the clubhouse with the open area, and then patrons can either look down on the field and watch the game, and simply just turn around and watch the big screen replay.
Oh,
very nice facilities.
There's us here in the booth. You can't see me behind all my notes.
Oh, there he is.
There we are. Enjoying the lovely facilities provided here by the Redcliffe Dolphins here at Dolphin Stadium.
So I'm doing my Chris Collinsworth. Now here's a guy.
Here's a guy. Trust me, I'm going to need a lot of that with my next commentator coming in.
But I do want to thank the facilities here because, Kenny, we've got air conditioning. And you're in a 3-piece suit and we have air conditioning.
Certainly not going to complain about that. 3 cent here from the Stingrays. They set up a screen, the Rhinos, to Shanks. One player stayed home to make sure Shanks didn't run that in for a 50-yard touchdown. First down, though.
I'm not seeing a sense of urgency here, Kenny. It's sticks are moving. Not really rushing.
Time out! Stingrays.
And that's why.
That's their second for the half.
Time out.
One remaining for them.
Can I ask you for your Lou Griffith kiss of death for the women's and the men's seniors?
Oh, look, it's a difficult one, and given I'm the guy who has to call those 2 games, I've got to say that it's probably going to go right down the wire for both of them. There's obviously a lot on the line. Lots happened over the past week, particularly for one of those games involved. The women's game will be exciting, and I think a lot of it will depend on how many snaps Moran takes and how many she takes at running back.
Yes.
She scored 3 touchdowns around the Thunder. If she doesn't compete in that game, Thunder might run away with that game. So Moran's always going to talk about team, but there's no secret that she's a huge part of that offense in big games. Bradford rolls short side, tries to throw back to the screen to Moore. It was a running back screen, that was the intention, but he's thrown it to a defender, and the Stingrays have taken this away. That was Kane Mackin. You see him roll to the right. He just assumes Moore's going to be open.
He's just thrown it blindly.
And I will just double check. That is 26. It is. Kane Mackin getting some time at defensive end. Gets it up, catches that. Takes it away. That reminds me of like Nick Bosa earlier, week 2.
He'll be happy you're comparing that.
Batting down a pass for San Fran, and he almost ran it back for a touchdown, Kane. First down and 10 for the Stingrays now. A chance to extend this lead. Gorka Wachapari with 3 receivers to his right. All inside the numbers, though. And
taking a shot
for his favourite target.
Had him in the hands.
And that's something that Jaden usually comes down with. I'll tell you what, the runners have actually done a pretty good job of keeping Jaden Paden pretty quiet.
I think there's it's the go-to guy when everything's getting shut down. But I think just Queensland. Stingrays are finding a lot more people to get open everywhere else, whether it be running or those, as I said, those 10-yard outs. There's going to be other people that'll be open.
He has commanded probably more than 50% of the target share here. Targeted 59 times, brought in 32 of those. Only 2 drops from those 59 targets, or 32 attempts.
Taking a deep shot, he's got the wind.
Looking for the end zone.
He's got the wind.
Oh! Again, that is something Jaden Payton has done throughout his years in the Colts division in the SUNBOWL.
I reckon he didn't back his quarterback. He slowed down for half a step. There, right there, he slowed down. And it's like, get there. Get to the end zone and come back to it.
And I'm not exaggerating when I say you could literally grab a photo from almost every SUNBOWL for the last 5 SUNBOWLs, and Jaden Payton's got to catch right end zone,
exactly,
extending for the ball.
They're just taking the deep shots here. So 3rd down and 10.
They're doing the exact same play, but Kawachapari
here we go.
will go to his feet this time.
Shovel step and get out of bounds, will he?
And will spin moves, drops a shoulder into a Rhino defender and Angus McKinnon, and now they're inside the 10.
I love the play calling here, Kenny. Sorry, I love the play calling. You've gone too deep, so everybody's backing off, and then let's get Japari with the feet because he can dance.
You got it down to the 7.
108, still plenty of time.
And the question will be with the Rhinos, they've stuck to this defense until now. Will they change at halftime?
Well, it's almost like we saw in the last game with the Sunshine Coast, is that offense is not moving. So the defense is getting tired, etc. Oh, we've gone down to the D lineman now. The changes.
Yep. They've changed inside the goal line. Hardiker now roaming at linebacker.
Double coverage on the bottom of the screen. Single at the top.
He's still looking for Payton. Now throws back to the middle of the field. Intercepted. Darcel Tuamavave brings it out of the end zone. Now running, he's been stripped. The Stingrays might have the ball.
They do.
The Stingrays do have the ball. How many times today between this game and last are we seeing one takeaway or one play immediately followed by another takeaway?
I tell you what, that is great hustle from the Stingrays. I tell you what, and also need better ball security. I can see what Chapari was trying to do there, but it was just still slow in the backfield. I was watching it going, he's going to get him, and bam! What a great strip right there. Good pressure by the Rhinos.
That was 8 picking off 8 there. And I can't quite see who made the strip there. I know Payton comes up with it.
This might be a better angle. Good hustle.
It was Jaden Payton.
Good hustle by Jaden. Very nice. Got the ball back.
Having his quarterbacks back. That was Gore Kawachapari's first intercept in 2019.
Is that right? Wow. It's crazy. Kenny, well, we've got a quick break here. Look, I just want to give a shout out as the under-19 Australian head coach. I want to give a shout out to both Peter Toss Senior and Coach Luke Chapman for all the fantastic work that they've done since the inception of this program. I've got a quick chat to Chappie downstairs before. Great to see him around. And also the team manager, Michael Kerr over in WA, couldn't have done it without him, or couldn't be doing it without him. And also Patrick Carroll, the South Australian head coach from the Junior Nationals, and Courtney Scarf from New South Wales, team manager for New South Wales. Just one person can't get in contact with 100 players, so you need to use that network. So I just want to give a public shout out, thanks to everybody there.
One-on-one coverage down the bottom. McKinnon on Palyardin.
He can go corner, he can go post.
He goes corner, but they look over the middle, trying to find, I think it was the other Palyardin and the Salmon.
Interesting there, Kenny, like what we talked about before, that seam pass there, that was double covered. Whereas Palyardin on the bottom of the screen, as you called, was one-on-one. So could have gone in, could have gone out. Interesting, still wanted to try and hit the seam.
Yeah, no, moved from juniors to Colts. Samuel Palyardin, 2 touchdowns this season. Coach Isham earlier in the season noted him as a huge improver, and he was having a breakout year for them. That continues into this SUNBOWL. Here he is now, third receiver in this trip set.
There's your corner route.
Kawachapari will try to take it himself, shakes the first defender, bakes the second, inside for a touchdown, but there is a flag down at the 12.
Illegal formation. 5 players in the backfield. 5-yard penalty. Replay the down.
So I just saw, so I've been calling Jack Lowe at number 3. Jack Lowe is one of those players who does play up regularly for the men's. I just had a look at the person wearing jersey number 3. I think that could be his younger brother,
Okay.
Sam. His twin brothers underneath him, Sam and Harry, I think it is. Juniors playing up in Colts. I think he might be wearing his older brother's jersey.
Ah, okay.
Either that
Thanks for letting us know.
Either that or Jack Lowe's gotten a lot younger looking over the past 4 weeks.
Rolling.
Korchapari throws as he gets hit. Intercepted, throws his second pick of the year. This one's picked off by McKinnon. McKinnon beats one tackler, and now I think he beats the first, and then eventually Bailey takes him down. He gets it out to the 14.
Have a look at the replay. Can he get face mask or get smacked in the mouth? Because he adjusted his... No, it's just a smack. Oh, watch that right hand of that Stingrays player there. Because one of the first things he did after the intercept was adjust the face mask. Nice. No, just a good hit there. It's the Antonio Brown helmet, probably.
27-0. I think the Stingrays were just looking for end zone shots there.
Absolutely. You can, I think, 27-0 with 30 seconds to go in the second half. Absolutely, I do the same thing. Just have a crack, throw some stuff.
Going back to this trip set. More in the backfield. He'll take the carry. He's got it. That was some good blocking. Found a crease. Still breaking tackles and getting past the 40.
It's coming back though, Kenny.
Down at halfway, but there is flags all the way back on the Rhinos sideline.
Patrick
around
Moore.
the 13.
Patrick Moore on the run. I'm thinking the referee might think the receiver wasn't set because he was slowly walking up to the line of scrimmage. They might have a chat about it. It'll be the wide angle or the receiver on the far side. Great run. He wasn't set for a second.
We've seen that penalty already today.
Prior to the snap, an encroachment on the offense, number 18. It's a 5-yard penalty, replay first down.
What was the call there, Kenny?
Encroachment on offense, so meaning...
Someone was in the neutral zone.
Yeah, in the neutral zone.
Stingrays play down.
It would have been Yuga, the man you thought stepped forward, so he wasn't deemed to be moving, but was moved to set up inside the neutral zone. Now we've got Boswell down, I think, for the Stingrays. So it's where he lines up is the issue.
Okay. He's thrown it. He's thrown it straight away, so the referee knew on the far top of the screen on the left-hand side there. Knew when to throw it. Okay.
See where the ball...
All right, Stingrays player is up. Jack Boswell.
One of the defensive leaders for this team. Busy player.
I see what you mean, Kenny. Pretty much 99.9% of the people are on our side of the grandstand. There's a grandstand on the screen you can see at home is now in full sun at pretty much 1:15, the hottest part of the day. Smart people over here on the shade.
Nope, again, kept this time. I think it's Riley Dix at quarterback. They decided to make this change. Dix started for this team much throughout 2018. Was involved in a battle for it through the opening weeks. Eventually won it, but also ended up being the backup quarterback for the men's team.
Interesting defense there for the Stingrays. They've really gone with It was like a B and C gap player. They didn't even worry about A gap, etc., because they know the quarterback was either going to keep it, run around the outside. 13 seconds left.
Rhinos just took a timeout there, which means they'll likely try something downfield.
.13 seconds left. Now the Stingrays are going with a bit of A-gap pressure.
Alright, here goes. Riley Dix drops back over the middle looking for Shanks. Shanks takes it whilst taking a hit from behind. He gets it past the 35. They call that down to the 36. Rhinos on the move.
You can always tell a quality player, can you have a look at the replay, goes up and gets it, high points the ball, but knows that the time is on the clock or whatever, and gets straight up and starts running back to where he needs to be. That's an aware player. Great catch, great awareness.
Rhinos taking another timeout.
Also too, a shout out Kenny to Paul Mills and the crew here for another great live streaming episode, I should say, of SUNBOWL.
Yeah. Obviously, it was sort of a different setup. You know, every time we move to different stadiums, we've been obviously big thank you to East Leagues Club and over there who've hosted us for the last couple of years. But Chris Hamilton, the facilities manager here at Redcliffe, has been very accommodating and helping LSB set up to provide the vision and audio for you here.
Is this going to be Hal Malcaney? Look, 3 to the bottom of the screen, nobody's at the top.
Dix throws at the top of his drop, looking for Shanks again. Incomplete. They'll have time for one more play.
Just try. We will get a Paul. Can we get a camera in here one year, mate? Because you'll see what we're doing here in the commentary booth, how we're drawing up plays. But yeah, just having a look at now at what the Rhinos are trying to do, how they're trying to use the open field for space to get Shanks out in space. But look at this, it's a great example here. It's the Rays 27, Rhinos yet to get on the board with 1 second left. If that is the correct time, it is second down and 10. Let's go with a double reverse flea flicker screen lateral.
Well,
the playbook's open.
if they've got any trick players, now wouldn't be a bad time.
Again, wind's picking up. Max protect here with the 2 tight ends by the looks of it.
Dix drops back under pressure immediately, has to get rid of it, and that should
Here
take
it comes,
us to
here
the
it
half.
comes.
Here comes the flag.
Here comes the flags.
Again, I think this is one of those situations, Hollywood, where you ask and you're going to get what you ask.
I better
put my pants back.
That's all right. That's all right. No, I'm only kidding, Paul. Don't let him run. He looks like he's tired. That's all good.
Production team trying to fulfill Hollywood's request of getting a camera in here. And then waving them off.
For intentional grounding. That's half time.
They wave off the flag for intentional grounding, and that officially takes us here to halftime here of the 2019 Colts SUNBOWL between the Gold Coast Stingrays and the Brisbane Rhinos. The Stingrays right now with a very healthy lead heading into the break, 27 points to nil. You're watching 2019 SUNBOWL Championships on live streaming Brisbane. And we'll be back on the other side of the break. A big thank you to Coach John Hollywood Rowe and giving up his time this morning.
Thanks, Kenny. Great to be here. And Bolt, have a great call.
Bit of help from the man upstairs, or whatever day do you believe in, to pull this back here. 27 points. I've seen crazier things happen, but you are going to need to execute at 100% here in the second half if you're the Brisbane Rhinos. Early touchdowns to the Stingrays. A punt blocked by Spisic. Chipari ran one in at Noah Hull. Caught a pass there from Tompkins. Dobosh got in a little later as well. Patrick Moore, wherever this bounce, and this will go out of bounds. We saw this happen in the first half. The Rhinos opted to take the 5-yard penalty and re-kick. They very well could do the same here. Welcoming back now that Hollywood has departed. Welcome back to the booth, I should say, but welcoming him to the booth for the first time today, Adam Bolton.
Thanks, Kenny. Good to be back.
Indeed it is. A little half a game earlier than you expected to.
Look, been a good game so far. Been some very interesting things going on out there. Yeah, look, as you said, I think it's going to take everything and every trick that the Rhinos have got to come back from here. You know, to be down 4 scores at the half. Not an ideal situation, but as you said, we have seen stranger things happen.
And indeed a re-kick here. Stingrays moved back to the 25. Mackin, who got an intercept in the first half, has already won one SUNBOWL today, looking to make it 2. Line drive over the head of the 2 returners, but it will be returnable. Calder Shanks field this at the 12, patiently waiting for blocks to develop, and eventually collides with the defense around the Rhinos 33.
Some good contain there by the Stingrays kickoff team there. Calder Shanks is a guy that you just do not want to give much space to at all. So when he gets hold of the ball, you want to swarm to him as quickly as he can because he makes things happen out of nothing.
Yes, he does. Whether he's catching it from kicks, punts, or quarterback passes. A year ago, we saw him with ball in hand as quarterback making things happen.
Be interesting to see what adjustments both teams have made here coming into the second half.
First down and 10. The Rhinos do get the ball first. Down at 4 scores. Under pressure is the quarterback in Bradford. And that continues there. That's Wilson Spisic, who had the blocked punt for a touchdown earlier, grabbing in the sack. Second down and a fair bit, probably 20 yards or more. Bradshaw with a bit of an orbit motion now cuts back the other direction. Jukes past one defender, but the rest of the Rhinos, rest of the Stingrays, I should say, quickly shoring up that tackle.
The outside contain there was outstanding, just had nothing to work with, and then even trying to cut back or trying to make something happen, just, yeah, not a lot of options there. So now we're looking at 3rd and 25, or thereabouts.
And they're inside their own 20 now. They don't have to make it all up in one play. If they're obviously 4th down territory when you're trailing by this much, they could just go half and half here.
Well, it's definitely got the weapons to do that.
Bradford over the middle to Shanks.
Wow.
He's hit the right guy and he's almost got all that yardage back. We'll put him in a position to convert here on 4th down. They'll only now need 2.
Excellent ball there by Bradford. Shanks runs a great route. Splits the coverage, gets the extra yardage, now made it a far more palatable 4th down situation.
Before he left, I saw Coach Hollywood just drawing up a bunch of plays there, just showing me how he sees the Rhinos getting Shanks open. And in the slot, they're using multitude of receivers to clear out for him and giving him one-on-one situations. Bradford rolls to his right, sets and throws. He's got Uger open, but he can't connect. He had a wide open Derek Uger.
Great job by Bradford there, buying time with his feet. Gets the roll out, stops, steps back inside the rusher, gives himself a little bit more time to get that ball off. Good ball, just a little bit out of the reach of the receiver.
Not an easy one to throw, throwing it back across the side he was rolling.
Absolutely not.
hard to be accurate. It was a turnover on downs there. They needed 3. They tried to go for it all. Understandably, almost had it.
No, it's smart play call. I mean, you go down 4 scores in that situation near midfield, you go for it.
Yeah, it's one of those situations. Anytime you're 4th and short, you know the defence is, creeping up in that line, trying to prevent the short yardage. You have an opportunity to go deep if you wish. Kanan Tompkins, short pass underneath, collected by Paludan, Jaden.
Wondering whether the change to the defensive front there by the Rhinos, whether that was a half-time adjustment or whether that was already a game plan situation, knowing there was a good chance the quarterback change was coming in the second half.
Yeah, or whether initially they ran the same defense against both quarterbacks.
Okay.
Chapari and Kanan Tompkins. They've been rotating throughout the game, and it's not a situation where they've changed at half here. The Rhinos, though, going back to a traditional defensive front, they send 4. All 4 of those had a hand into the dirt and taking them down from behind. Vince Shortman, who was injured in the first half, back here in the second and collects a sack there on Kanan Tompkins.
Certainly puts the Rays into an interesting situation now. It limits their options on 3rd down. Because those D linemen now can just pin their ears back and get after him.
Well, maybe the offensive backs and even the O-line for the Stingrays kind of have to readjust now after close to a full half of defending air. Blocking against air. They've got players in their face again. 4 of them, in fact. Pressure's going to get there again, and taking him down is Malachi Railton Stewart, who was listed as centre but plays defensive end at juniors, and that's where he's playing here this afternoon.
I think back to what you said before, Kenny, with the for the offensive line, that's a tough adjustment for them to go from the first half where they've had no one over them, they've had to do a lot of open field blocking, and had it a little bit easy, I'd suggest, in the first half, to now have heads up. And having to come off the ball like that, yeah, it's going to take a bit of an adjustment because they haven't gotten their rhythm.
And looking out of place here at Colts, Malachi Railton Stewart, one of the biggest players in the junior division. Kane Mackin, speaking of players, junior players, playing at the Colt level. Kane Mackin comes in as personal protector. Punting here on a 4th down, it's off the inside of the boot, Dobosh's boot that is, and that just gets it past the original line of scrimmage. The Rhinos defense achieves its goal. Got their ball back in the hands of their offense. They trail by 4 scores right now, as I said. Not insurmountable, but it's going to be one mighty effort and a story we'll talk about for years to come if they can come back from here.
Look, it's certainly not impossible, and we're good field position here. If they score quickly here and bring it into 3 scores, with a quarter and a half to go or thereabouts, absolutely they are right back in it.
You got to think it's going to have to be more than offense they'll score on. They'll need something out of special teams.
Yeah.
They maybe even need a defensive touchdown.
Why not both?
¿Por qué no los dos? Putting in a tight end out on the right-hand side of the field now. Trips on the opposite side. Bradford will fake the give and will run it again on that read option. And eventually his forward motion is stopped at the Stingrays 40.
Yeah, good read there by Bradford.
I'm going to give it to him. His handwork and footwork around those read options was really good. A couple of times he's fooled me with his delayed reads and decisive decisions as soon as he's made them.
Hey, if he's fooling us up here with the TV screens and from the view we've got, I suggest he's doing something right.
Second and long, one favoured by a lot of offensive coordinators and play callers. Tom Saxby in the game at slot receiver. Got a couple of options deep. They wanted to set that screen up again. They tried that in the first half. It was picked off by Kane Mackin. They went back to it. Unsuccessful. That brings up 3rd and short. Again, that's 2nd down and 1. Allows you to pull those sort of high ceiling plays out to use.
Well, I think it's there. I think it's something that should go back to again later in the game. Because, you know, he holds on to that. There's a big chunk of yards in front of him there.
Third and 1. Low snap, but it's collected nicely. Kept by Bradford. I don't think he's... Oh, maybe. It looks like they're marking him down, though. Just past, or maybe just on the line of scrimmage. We're going to have 4th down.
It's a bit interesting what they run with here on 4th. And 4th and 1 can be very similar to 2nd and 1 in terms of, you know, you almost think the defence will be turning off, trying to stop the run. So, you know, you've got the ability to pull something out of the bag.
Well, that's what they did last time on 4th down. Now they went for Yuga deep before they stopped a quick 3 and out. And they're going to go for it on 4th with a keeper to Bradford. The swarming defence from the Stingrays denies them though. And
yeah, very good contained there by the Rays. You know, I think with Shanks going in motion there, it would be easy for them to get caught up in, you know, most dangerous man situation, but they stayed disciplined and, yeah, got the job done.
so this game takes a bit of an offensive lull. 3 and out from the Stingrays on their first possession. Back-to-back turnover and downs out of the half here for the Rhinos. And we're almost at the end of the 3rd quarter following those last 3 possessions. 27-0 halftime score remains unchanged underneath. Dobosh gets past Riley, slips more. Now he's on the left-hand sideline. Jump cuts him backwards and Shanks eventually catches him at the 10. They'll mark him down at the 11. A nice move on the sideline there by Dobosh.
Good patience there by Tompkins. Step back in the pocket and deliver the pass, and great use of hands there by the receiver to break those tackles. Look at that, 2 in a row.
Nicely done. Tight end in along with 4 wide receivers. Tompkins flush to his right. Now he's got Payton open in the end zone. Flags thrown though. And it's also incomplete. Payton's arguing his case that he's kept his tootsies inbound. Flags were thrown immediately as soon as the pass was caught though.
I personally thought it was on a different side of the chalk than what he's arguing, but could be wrong here.
Well, that depends on where you think he's got control. I think he might have that, depending on what the flag is. You only need 1 foot. That one doesn't look as favourable. I think that first angle we saw it on might be the most favourable. I'm going to get that same angle here from the side of the end zone shot. Yeah, I think he's got the right foot in bounds when he's what I would argue is control. Control there. Left foot still in the air, right foot was down. And that's a Stingray coming off after getting assessed on the sideline. I think that was number 98 there in Curtis Bailey.
I missed what the penalty was for, but looking at where it's been marked, I would suggest it was holding or something similar.
No challenge flags have come out, so it is just we're just waiting on the penalty being assessed, which we might have missed. I think you're right though. Holding looks like it was the call.
Yeah, there's only so many 10-yarders that you can get in that situation.
Exactly right. spread formation. Tight end will add a little extra protection. They go back to the play that saw Dobosh find success early. Moore takes him out of bounds at the 11, make that the 12.
I think the Rays offensive line's looking a little bit more settled now. Now they've got out there and taken those first couple of hits and realised that it's not what they were facing in the first half. And yeah, there's some good protection being provided this drive so far.
Time ticking down here in the third. And end of this drive, you'd likely see us moving into the fourth quarter. Tompkins under pressure, being chased to his right, looking for the end zone. They've got it this time, no flags on the play. And I think that is the other Paladin, Sam, bringing it in.
Yeah, good ball here, good rollout, bought himself some time, let his receivers find space. Look at that.
Providing a bit of pass rush there was Rusi Samo.
Going for two here.
Trying to make up the... No, they are trying to make up that extra point they missed earlier. 30. And they'll have to wait a little longer. We've got flag. A false start on the Stingrays, it would appear.
Prior to the snap, false start, number 60, 5-yard penalty, still the try for point.
Jared Rose. Pinged for the early movement there. 33-0 is your scoreline.
I know Colt being a former offensive linesman, he won't be happy with that.
2-point conversion here from the 7. The pass was intended there to Luke Terry, who comes up gimpy after that last play. He did cop a bit of a shot there. He tries to walk back to the huddle. Conversion unsuccessful. The score remains at 33-0 here with 32 seconds remaining in quarter number 3 in this Colts SUNBOWL.
I think we're in for an entertaining last quarter. At this stage, I think we'll see the Rhinos start pulling whatever's left in the playbook out, the stuff that's been maybe repped a few times during the year and kept locked away. I think we're going to start seeing some creativity in the play calling, and yeah, the Stingrays defense is going to have to be on their toes.
Well, as well for certain players with the final quarter of football between both these teams, players will be playing their final Colts, minutes.
True.
It starts being a factor. I remember when I was managing a SUNBOWL, you want to try and get as many of those players on as possible. Just make sure they can just soak in their last moments as a Colt player. I know for a fact some of these Rhinos Colts, I think Riley Dix, Mitch Bradford, both of those going on. So the Rhinos Colts program will be looking for a new quarterback next year. Kane Mackin. They'll be getting ready to move up to Colts as well permanently. And whether it's intended or not, it's a squib kick. Shanks picks it up at the 30. Turns on the accelerator, looking for the sideline. Sam Paladin has the first shot on him. Eventually run out of bounds at the 36.
Like we discussed before, those are situations where Shanks is just so dangerous. Like, you don't get a hand on him as he gets around that corner right there. He's gone. That's 6.
First down and 10 now from the Rhinos 36. Sorry, my apologies, from the Stingrays 45. And tricked up from the GQ fields here. There isn't a 46-yard line on a GQ field. Low snap, but it's handled well. Bradford under pressure though. Spicic there. And chasing off and finishing the sack there is Eric Behetti.
You feel for Bradford there, having one of his linemen. I think it was the tight end, maybe. No, the guard. I think slipped over. And in that situation, yeah, it's one of those watch out blocks. Okay, looks like we're going to time out here to the Rhinos.
No, I think that'll be the close of the third quarter, I believe. See these two teams flip sides.
Good spot.
Just 8 minutes remaining here for this 2019 Colts season. Stingrays have done well enough to defend their 27-point halftime lead. Just added to it there. Have kept the Rhinos off the scoreboard. Shanks on the near side sideline, but near their hashes. Cuts in, they set up a screen for him, and Jaden Paludan breaks past the blockers real quick to shut that play down.
That's great awareness there by Jaden.
Yeah, don't know if we'll get another look at it, but immediately diagnosed that play, shot past the blockers.
Having worked with him in the Stingrays men's team as well, he's very, very smart football player. Like, sniffs that out quickly, flows downhill really fast, shuts that down before Shanks has a chance to get around the corner.
You see the blockers just sort of there, and before Shanks can do anything with it. Yeah. So Rhinos are taking the timeout.
Timeout. Rhinos. Set first for the half.
Obviously, in this situation, they're definitely in two-down territory. Like you touched on before, Kenny, this is not only the two-down situation, this is score quickly, and we need to make things happen on special teams and defence to try and, I guess, pull off the improbable at this stage.
No, we saw a situation where Brendan Phillips sent on his Spartan defence when they were down 6, with 2 minutes and 40 odd seconds remaining there, and me and Hollywood looked at each other saying, well, sure you don't want to consider going for it here, but immediately following that, his defence forced a fumble and they were back on the ball. So 7 minutes, 11 seconds remaining. Coming out of this Rhino timeout.
Oh, well, I'd be hurrying to get up to the line quickly here.
And coming off the line was Dix. Now he'll take it. Does he shape to pass? That he does. Looking downfield, but I don't know if he didn't get his feet set or couldn't get his hands properly around that ball, or perhaps the wind picked up on that, but it falls short of his target. Incomplete there, and that'll bring up 4th down.
They're sending the punt unit out here?
Yes,
No.
they are. Colin Shanks is back
Oh,
there,
wow.
ready to punt.
It'd be great to see a fake, wouldn't it?
Oh, they've tried it already so far today. I almost think that Calder Shanks has the sort of ability to fake it with it if he likes to. Oh, and this is bobbled the return, but he gets it back now. Paludan's found some space down the western sideline and gets it past halfway.
Smart at the end of the run there, just to take the hit and get to the ground. Don't try to be too fancy, and potentially fumble the ball or give them the ball back in a situation like this. think looking at the start of that play, there was certainly looks like there was a fake option there. Shanks didn't like what he saw, so he put it on the boot, and yeah, for a moment there, almost worked out with the bobbled handling of the kick.
Chapari back in the game. The rotation continues. That play would have been dead as soon as he caught it. It's Terry, I think, making the catch. A bit of humour there from Tom Saxby.
Must have missed something. I think we're down. The down counters are down ahead of themselves.
Possibly Sam Grant at starting centre. And someone is getting told to Gorko Chapari. I think he might have had his mouth guard in. He's been told to go to the sidelines, and now Kanan Tompkins comes in off his lunchtime break a little earlier. Quick throw. It's to Hull. Hull's got one touchdown in this game. Beats the defender looking for touchdown number 2. Has he got the pace? Shanks has a hold of him. And no, he doesn't. Hull gets in for his second touchdown of today.
That's incredible run after the catch there. Uses his hands well to break the first tackle. And then just uses speed and agility in the space. Makes Shanks think for a second, holds the ball out. In for 6.
I thought Shanks had him there, but has the awareness to get that ball stretched up and break the plane with it. Make sure he's not stopped at the 1. Nothing in the stat book that says you've got to play down to the 1.
I think getting stopped at the 1 in a situation like that's a bit like getting out at 99 in cricket.
Yeah.
That looks like the extra point units out for the Rays.
I think just missed the 1 today, bounced it off the right upright. It's a low snap. I think this was a zone fake. Paladin will roll in very comfortably here, but flags are thrown as he crosses the plane. Let's see if we can spot it here. Is there a hold on the right side of the line on Corner Shanks?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think we guessed pretty good on that play. I didn't get the audio out there, but it's going to be holding on the Stingrays, so that 2-point conversion.
So I'm just watching the Stingrays coaches down here discussing what's happened there, and yeah, sorry guys, from where we're sitting, that was a hold every day of the week.
So the question is, do they go for it? Like, surely you don't try the same fake again from here. They might. Or are they going to back Paladin's leg?
They're selling it well if it's a fake.
Yep, they don't go to the same fake. They back his leg, and the trust is rewarded with a extra point.
Solid looking kick too.
Yeah, to put a bit extra behind there. Obviously, he's gotten quite talented at getting the ball high and far enough to just convert on those PATs, but then actually had to put some distance behind it. 40 points to 0. That marks the most points scored by any Stingray SUNBOWL winning team, at least over the last 4-year run. I'm trying to think about some of those Stingray scores from 2005 to 2008. I don't think any of them are as big as this. This possibly could be the biggest margin in Stingray winning SUNBOWL history so far.
You'd have a better idea than me, Kenny. That was before my days at the Rays, that's for sure.
Oh, I believe you weren't at the Rays at that certain time, mate.
Certainly wasn't.
We have a certain history that you
I won't talk
prefer
about,
not to talk
I
about.
won't talk about that. Say I was living in Tasmania and wasn't playing.
There's mystery years on your Gridiron resume.
Yeah. There's black lines through them.
40-0. 5 minutes 23 seconds remaining in the ball game.
Oh, that's a great kick.
It flies into the end zone on the full.
Oh, there's one for the brand.
It certainly is. Mackin's been knocking them into the end zone for 2 games now, 8 quarters.
So what do you do in this situation, Kenny, if you're the Rhinos?
You got to keep trying. Right. You're down 40-0, yes. Let's not pretend that doesn't exist, but
No, I think the
on every given play, you got to pretend like you're only down.
Yeah, correct. Get out there, execute.
7-0.
Have some fun. Make things happen.
You probably just take it 1 play at a time. Low snap. Dix under pressure.
Oh.
Paludan takes him down, gets around Josh Hardiker for the sack.
Originally, the blitz pickup's pretty good there. Just drops the shoulder a little bit too soon. Player Paladin's experience is just way too savvy with that. Yeah, great play there. Oh, great keep read there. Oh,
Hard shot.
big
Dix
hit
takes
there.
outside. I think that's Bailey or the Andre variety.
Good keep read there, and way to get around the outside, and you know, it's fairly good contained there by the Rays as well. I mean, they still those plays can easily turn into huge gains if your outside contain gets laps. So we've got 3rd and 9 here by the looks of it. Rhinos coming out with trips to the right.
And then to that short side trips, that's where Dick's attention will go. His pass lands in the middle of them though. Incomplete, bringing up 4th down. Shanks might come back on to punt.
Having a talk about it here. Oh, they're running another fake. We can only hope.
And this is another punt block. Spicic coming in with his 2nd. Or is that no? 97, double checking. Yeah, coming in with his 2nd punt block of the afternoon.
Great speed off the edge there.
Recovered the first one for a touchdown. 2 punt blocks in 1 game, not bad.
So Chapari's back in at quarterback for the Rays.
Let's say this rotating quarterback system. We're honouring it all the way to the end. And going for verts. Touchdown. Jaden Paludan back in the end zone. That's a combination we saw all the way through the junior AGL, so all the way through 2019. And we see it now here in the back end of the 2019 SUNBOWL.
He's had a fantastic second half, Jaden. So we're lining up to go for 2 again.
Chapari's in there. They keep 4 wide. Chapari dancing to the outside, adds the 2.
A smart play there by Chapari. Josh Hazlitt gives the look. I'm not even sure that was actually a designed pass play. I think it was always a draw. Yeah, just picks the spaces using that 2x2 front to spread the defence out. It's an incredible athlete.
$48-0. Can confirm this is the biggest buffer in Stingrays SUNBOWL history. Of the Colts, of course.
Yeah, wasn't going to remind you of the other one. We can talk about that one later if you want.
This, in fact, could be just this impressive effort from the Stingrays could actually be up there as all-time Colts SUNBOWL performances.
Well, I certainly think it's going to be one of those games that's talked about for a long time.
Line drive here, trying to keep it away from Shanks, but they'll find the sideline. Let's see if they choose to take the re-kick again. That's what the option they've gone through the last couple. What a flag throw! Or was that a T throw?
No, I think it was a T throw. Well, Racing like they're lining up, so
Legal procedure on the kicking team. Free kick went out of bounds untouched. Ball will be placed at the 30-yard line. First down.
Take it again.
no, taking the penalty.
Oh. We'll just get back on the field. 4 minutes, 40 seconds remaining.
Looks like the Stingrays are starting to rotate some of their players out of the field.
Yeah, a few more people rolling in. Jaden Payton stays on the defensive side of the ball though. He might be shaping a rush.
Oh,
there he is. He jumps on the ball, but the Rhinos win it. Riley Dix, I think, jumps on that just that little bit quicker.
I mean, granted, it was a not the best of snaps, but look who was there for the Rose, number 85 again. So looking at what's second and double sticks, so second and 20.
An offensive player of the year, I should say. Offensive wide receiver of the year for the Colts division. Jaden Payton. Second down and long. Bradford's back in the game. They go back to that screen, determined to work that successfully, but the Stingrays have shot that down every attempt. And this time, Eric Pehede Gets his paws in the way.
And they haven't been able to pull off that screen today that we've seen so far, but I actually like the play design. Like it looks good, and a couple of times that that it's been stopped has either been because the very smart players on the Rays defense have sniffed it out, or a drop pass, or just something which most of the time those are going to come off. So I can see why they keep going back to it.
It's still 3rd and 20 plus here. And Shanks will just get the direct snap. They put Shanks at quarterback. Not super unusual to that position, as I said. Started at quarterback for the Spartans juniors team a year ago. And quite frankly, he's listed as athlete. They didn't even want to commit a position to him because you can really plug him anywhere.
I did notice that on the team sheet. I was like, that's not something you see much of in Australia when it comes to football.
And I've told this story before, but again, when I was inquiring about where he was going to be playing at the state level, Coach Booker just told me a special position I call "Get Him the Damn Ball." 4th down. It looks like this is their punting formation. That is the case. Bishich almost gets in.
Here comes the flag.
Another one, and I think he's going to get pinned for rushing or probably roughing. At this rate, it will be returned for the sake of formality here. A bit of cheapiness getting into the game here. McKinnon
unnecessary.
Throwing a stiff arm to the face there of Keynes, I think.
This will be interesting here. Okay, so we've got running into the kicker.
Personal foul. Roughing the kicker. 97 defence. 15-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
Okay, so we've got running to the kicker, so automatic 15 yards, automatic first down, but there was another flag on the play. It looks like this one's been waved off from the bit of push and shove at the end of the play. So regardless, it's first down Rhinos. Fresh set of downs just past the 40, sitting on the 42. Okay, so Rhinos come out with trips right to the wide side of the field.
And Bradford is back. Deep drop, steps up, and he's got some wheels and takes this past the 40. And turns it, he might get all the way. The shutout might be shot down. No, he stepped out of bounds at the 19. I thought the Rhinos were going to get on the board.
Get the red flag out. Let's have a look here. There's an outstanding play by Bradford. Sees the gap, takes off, gets around the corner. Oh, I can't quite see from there if he stepped out or not.
Yeah, I think it's fair to say the official would have the best.
Fairness, the official
It happened right in front of him.
Right in front of him. So, that's a great play. That's going to get the tails up for the Rhinos, and let's see what they come back with here now. Now they're inside the red zone. So Rhinos come out with twins left, single to the boundary.
Shanks though, one-on-one on the outside. That's where they want to go.
That's what you
they want to try and get
Oh.
shoulder. Shanks,
Oh.
Peyton Paludan.
Paludan again.
He decides to play wide receiver.
Wow. It's a great matchup when you've got Shanks and Paludan against each other, though.
That is a wonderful matchup. The two Sun Devil players going at it.
Oh, wow. That's great positioning, great play there by Paludan. That's incredible football. Right option, though. I mean, Shanks one-on-one against anyone, you'd take that one-on-one just about every day of the week. So, yeah, you certainly can't criticise that. Okay, so the Rays take over here. We've got just over a minute left in the game. And we've got Chapari back at quarterback, still in the quarterback, sorry, for the Rays. The Rays come out in their 2x2 front. Also got the tight end into the left as well. There's empty backfield. Right, you have the pressure. Deep
Quick
ball.
throw here.
Oh.
Chapari finding Dobosh.
Breaks the
Dobosh
tackle.
has already got one earlier, and he he just outran. Shakes down, gets all the way to the end zone. What a play there, eh? Dobosh.
What an individual effort there. Great ball from Chapari. Man, breaks the tackle. Foot race with Shanks. Not too many people in this league are going to be able to win that. Turns him inside out, gets down and dives for the end zone, and he's in. That's incredible.
Well, he had a 5-yard reception touchdown earlier in the game. This one, just a little further. And that was the last play of the game. We actually lost track of how many seconds there were left. Ladies and gentlemen, the Gold Coast Stingrays
And here comes the water
enter
bath.
the record books as Coach Colt Isham gets his very first Gatorade shower there, or water shower. His first year at the helm. And his team has run the table. They've had a perfect season, and they've put up a record number here as far as Colts SUNBOWLs are concerned. The Gold Coast Stingrays also walk into the record books with 5 consecutive Colts SUNBOWL championships. Right now, the previous record was set at 4 by the Gold Coast Stingrays. They beat their own record. Big congratulations to this Colt program and everyone who's been involved with it as a whole. A fantastic display. They finished it with a huge long pass down there. Adam Bolton, you weren't calling the first half, but you were here. Give us a bit of a summation of everything that went on.
Look, it's phenomenal performance there by the Rays. I don't think we can take too much away from the Rhinos there. I mean, they certainly showed some flashes there, and they've got some incredible football players over there. So, I don't think the final score truly indicates, where that Rhinos program's at. But you look at what the Stingrays have done this year, and the players they've got there, and the athletes, the plays that they've made. Always going to be a very, very tough ask to overcome. So. I think just that the Rays just had too many playmakers on all sides of the ball, and we saw those guys consistently step up both offensively and defensively to make plays when needed, and that was the difference today, really.
Yes, it did, and the Rhinos tried their best. They had a specific defense plan for it. Unfortunately, the Stingrays a bit too much firepower. We're going to leave you with some audio from down the field before Glenn Parker takes us through the post-game presentation.
Ladies and gentlemen, how about that for the Gold Coast Stingrays? Victorious in the Colts division. I'm going to try and grab someone over here that gave the coach perhaps. Record-setting 5 SUNBOWLs in a row for the Gold Coast Stingrays Colts division. I've got the coach here. What do you reckon, Coach? How's that feel, 5?
It was brilliant.
The coach reckon that's brilliant. I think it's pretty right. Great stuff. We're very excited to go and talk to you a little bit. I'm going to try and grab another one of the assistants here. How's that feel, Coach? 5 in a row?
Coach is up there, mate. Yeah, I've already asked him.
The Stingrays are just greeting the Rhinos now. Yeah. I will agree. Craig, have you got a minute, Craig? What do you reckon, mate? That's 5 in a row for the Colts, isn't it? It's pretty good, isn't it? Yeah, I know. I saw it earlier on today. You're a pretty proud man. I understand why, but that's incredible. I've seen all 5 of them. How's this one feel?
Oh, as good as any of them. You know, 5 in a row, it's something special.
It is something special. I agree. 5 in a row is outstanding. You'll see the Stingrays congratulating the Rhinos now. The boys put up a great year. We'll get them together and we'll start the formal proceedings. But just to repeat, your SUNBOWL champions, the Gold Coast Stingrays, 54 points over the Rhinos did not score.
Come on, into your phone, Chris.
That's them. Them. Me. Ladies and gentlemen, just wrapping up the Colts SUNBOWL there. The teams will be coming over for the official presentations. Just a reminder, of course, that the Stingrays have won 5 consecutive SUNBOWLs. The result of this one, 54 points to 0. We'll grab the teams over and we will begin the official part of the presentations. The first person I'd like to talk to once he's spoken to his team is the coach of the Brisbane Rhinos, Mr. Sam Harkness. Now the coach of the Brisbane Rhinos, Sam Harkness. That's a tough one, Sam. It's not the best way to finish the season, but that doesn't matter. You got there. The boys, you're proud of your boys. I know you are. They put up a good fight. I was pretty impressed with some of the things they did out there today. But you got the Stingrays in one of those moments where they were hungry, yeah?
Yeah. The boys had good effort. It's been a pretty rough week, as well everyone knows, due to the situation with Calder, but they all came out here and they all just played for him, you know, like we tried to forget about it, but Stingrays, like, they've been the best team all year. They deserve it. Like, they balled today, so yeah.
Yeah, copy that. I understand that the players got together during the week and talked about it, but that's good motivation, and they came out and they did him proud, and he also did his fellow roster members very proud, and you should be proud of your team performing under the situation, and good on them for doing so. But it's another year, and we'll regroup and go back next year and be even stronger, I'd imagine.
Yeah, I don't know, just let them play. Let them play the men.
Let them play. Okay, cool. The next part of this presentation, I was going to bring out the championship coach. I have a chat with him very quickly. I have his thoughts on today's game. Yeah, coach, what do you reckon? That's 5 in a row, but what do you reckon about that one?
Well, it's definitely a special one, first-year head coach, and with all these wonderful guys. So, I mean, it's definitely special to me. So.
Yeah, what I really like today, I really like the rotation. I really like the rotation of the quarterbacks and the way the roster helped everybody out. Your special teams young lady there got out on defense there as well and performed some pretty good stuff for you. I think there was a pretty good across-the-board effort by the roster, yeah?
Yeah, definitely. We got athletes in every position, so we just want to make sure that they all see the field, get equal game time, and keep going.
Yeah, and that's the way it should be. As obviously as a junior coach or a Colts coach, we know that, don't we? We get them on the field and get them ready for the next stage of their career. And I tell you what, you've got a good group there, and hopefully most of them will stay together. Maybe it's 6, yeah? What do you think?
Oh, for sure. I don't see us quitting anytime soon, so.
Why not? Coach, what I'm going to get you to do is grab the winning medals off our president, and if you want to pass them out to your Gold Coast Stingrays, I'll have a chat to one of the guys over here. Is that cool?
Sounds good.
Congratulations, Coach.
Thank you.
Well done. I'd like to bring out the captain of the Rhinos just for a quick chat, if that's okay. Congratulations on a big game. And it hasn't been a very easy week, but you've come out and you've done what you had to do. You come out, you got on the field, on the gridiron, and you did what you wanted to do. And more power to you for that, and to your gentlemen for supporting you. So I'm glad you did that. For you, that's what it's about, is participating. Well done to you, and you had a great game as well. How about you? Happy with your performance?
Yeah, like obviously it's nice to play well and all that, but at the end of it, it's the win. But these guys played amazing. The Stingrays guys, they deserve the win. Obviously 5 in a row was an incredible achievement, and I couldn't have done this without any of my boys, especially the support the last couple of days. I'll be honest, it's been hard, and having them there for me has been just made me so happy to be able to come out here and play with them one last time for this season. And yeah, just the support, everything they've done, all of it, I appreciate them. So yeah, they're a great team.
Yeah, good on you. And the one thing that we saw was the unity out there from the stands, is that everybody wanted, just to play football, as you said. And well done to you guys. Congratulations on their efforts today. And we'll have a chat a little bit later on for sure. Have a good one. All right, if we can, we'd like to bring out just one captain from the Stingrays. Have a quick chat, talk about the game. Hey, bro.
How are you?
Great game. Amazing. Awesome. Well done. Some good plays out there. You made an effort. You're actually part of the game. You made influence out there. What do you think about your teammates? Pretty good, huh?
Yeah, it was a full team performance today. I think we were a bit nervous before the game, and it came into the game, we were a little sloppy, but we came in and we did what we needed to do, which was what we've been training for. We've been, as a team, we've been grinding these past few weeks, and this has always been our goal, to go undefeated. And this is our 5th year straight winning the SUNBOWL, and it's a credit to our team and a credit to our coaches.
I couldn't agree more. A couple of things I liked today was, I spoke to Coach earlier, was a rotation of your rather large roster, but very well rotated, and your kicking game was fantastic too. Yeah. I mean, you can't fault that today. All your quarterbacks took a snap today, did really well, and your line, offensive line, you can't win without those guys.
Right.
Not to mention the defense, who had a fantastic game, a shutout in the SUNBOWL. Not bad, huh?
Yeah,
not bad.
Yeah, great game. Our QBs are good because we got the 1-2 punch, as we had a newspaper come out that said the yin and yang of Gore and Kanan. So it was good to have them both out there because they both bring a different skill set to the game. Each of them can make the passes. Each of them have a different skill set, which puts the defense in a different position, which allows us to get open and spreads the field out a bit. But I mean, it's been a good year.
Yeah, it's what I saw was the mobility and the control in the pocket. They both bring their own element of it, and very definitely the mobility of both of them is incredible. Right. But the calmness in the pocket is what really helped. And you guys, you're all over the place, and you plenty of open receivers today. So congratulations.
Yeah, great game.
And we'll get that trophy to you soon.
For sure, appreciate that. Thank you.
The captain of the Gold Coast Stingrays. The next thing we want to do is we're going to present the MVP for today's SUNBOWL. Both teams had some outstanding players out there, and obviously the Stingrays on the scoreboard dominated the scoreboard. So sometimes you get a lot of votes that way, but to me and to our commentary team and the people that powers have been voted, I think they probably got it right. The MVP for 2019 from your Gold Coast Stingrays, number 8, Gore. Gore, you want to say something?
Oh, no.
You know? Gore's very shy, believe it or not. We've got him.
I'm so bad at speeches.
Congratulations, mate.
Thank you.
Great game, mate. Great game.
On behalf of the Stingrays, I'd like to take this award because doesn't really just represent me, it represents all my teammates as well. I couldn't have been here without them. I don't make all those catches and stuff. So I just like to thank them. And yeah, that's it.
Congratulations. Thank you. Outstanding game. And of course, the last final thing we have to do for 2019 in the Colts division, if I could ask the captains to come forward from the Gold Coast Stingrays to receive from the president of the league the 2019 SUNBOWL trophy. Ladies and gentlemen, your 2019 Colts SUNBOWL champions, 5 in a row, Gold Coast Stingrays. Hey, top job, boys. Great job, boys.
Thanks, man.
Awesome,
Appreciate
man.
it.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, that wraps up the formalities for the Colts division for 2019. Coming up next, we have the women's division. We'll just take a short break, and welcome to everyone overseas that's on with us with live streaming Brisbane. And we're here at Redcliffe Dolphins Oval. What a fantastic venue. And we'll talk to you very, very shortly. Thank you very much. And going back to the commentary booth.
Get him up, get him up. Get him up, get him up. Funny how you choose and pick your battles, dude. Keep saying you number one, but I'm on top. Yo, it's done. Dropping styles like napalm. Fake rappers think they so strong. Verses full of hype and always ready for a fight. Spontaneous, magnanimous, cause they can't get close enough to run with us. If you wanna battle, get it hard, get it raw. No emotions, I shake you until your chains fall off. What? Large, in charge, I set the bar high. You running with the big boys now. Get up, don't cry.